Good morning, friends. Oh, I haven't spoken yet today. Hello, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today is Saturday, October 21st, and it is a DEWEY'S 24-hour readathon day. DEWEY'S 24-hour readathon happens, I think, twice a year. You can Google it. It's been around since, I think, 2007. And I don't always participate, but I realized I don't have much going on today, so I'm going to do it. So from 8 o'clock this morning until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Sunday, I am just supposed to read as much as I possibly can. So it is now 8:15. I got a little bit of a late start this morning, but I've had my shower. I just made some tea and some toast, and I am going to go sit down and read in the other room. So I'll go in there and then let you know what my reading plans are for the day. I'm going to try to use a stopwatch timer so we can see how long I get within this 24-hour period, how many hours of reading I can get squeezed in there. I will probably check around often to see if people are doing sprints, but I also have some cleaning to do, which is fine because I have some audiobooks to listen to. And yeah, we'll just see how much reading I can get done in this 24-hour period. So let's do it. Let's go read. So here's my plans as far as reading for the day. I apologize for the lighting. Usually I turn a couple more lamps on when I'm filming, but it's not super conducive to a cozy reading morning. So I have a couple priorities and then a couple bonus potentials. But first of all, this is the Middle Grade March read-along, whatever, book club book for October, The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I'm just almost halfway through, but this is a great one to listen to while I'm cleaning and stuff because it is a reread for me. I also would like to read a couple more essays in Upstream by Mary Oliver. I'd like to finish this by the end of the month, and so I'll just read an essay or two here and there in between other things. And then my Patreon book club book is The Tenement of Wildfell Hall, and I'm vlogging my experience of this one, so I read a little, vlog a little, back and forth, but I'd like to make good progress. I'm still very much at the beginning. I haven't updated. I did read some yesterday, so I'm a little farther than that, but not much. Some of my potentials are middle grade spooky books. So I have The Clackety by Laura Senf that I might pick up, and also Bellwood's Game by C.L.A. Cramping. So I have those as options. And then also, of course, my second Read Like Audrey book. I would like to start that as well. Oh, and I'm in the middle of one of my Read Like Mitzi books. So that'll probably get picked up at some point too. Lots of options, but right now I'm going to sit and read an essay from Mary Oliver. The only thing I have kind of on the plans for the day is there's a thrift store that I've never been to before that is having a special like open house or something today that's at 10, and I have a grocery pickup at noon. So I'm trying to organize that outing so that I can do them at the same time. And that's really my only outing for the day. The rest of the time I'm just here. So I did have a shower, but I put my PJ pants right back on because they're the comfiest. All right, so I'm going to start with a Mary Oliver essay and get my stopwatch going, and we'll get to reading. All right, it is 9:45 and I've been reading for an hour and 16 minutes, I think. I'll put a little screenshot here of my stopwatch, but I have made it up to page 73, chapter 16 in The Tenement of Wildfell Hall, and I'm really enjoying this classic story. This is a book for October, also a Patreon book club book for this month. Enjoying that one. I did read 2 essays in Upstream by Mary Oliver. I just really love her writing. It's beautiful, thought-provoking. It's nature-focused. One of them talked about when she was young how she loved Walt Whitman and would play hooky from school and go and read in the woods because there was some disturbing behaviors from people in school, and so she just didn't go. She would just go into the woods and read, but she does talk about poetry at the end of that essay, and she says, I learned from Whitman that the poem is a temple or a green field, a place to enter and in which to feel. Only in a secondary way is it an intellectual thing, an artifact, a moment of seemly and robust wordiness, wonderful as that part of it is. I learned that the poem was made not just to exist, but to speak, to be company. I have been thinking about poetry, and I want to read more of Mary Oliver's poetry in particular. And I have a bad negative connotations about poetry because of being an English major and having literary criticism classes and having to really dive deep into the meanings of poems and taking words apart and looking at all the different meanings and all the different types of lit crit that you could do with a poem, like the different ways of deconstructing poems and stuff, instead of just enjoying them for what they are. And so I really liked that little paragraph about just the importance of just feeling a poem. It's just to experience it. I can connect with them emotionally, and that is a valid response. So I've got an hour under my belt so far. It's almost 10, so I'm going to get up and finish getting ready for the day and change the sheets on my bed while I listen a little bit more. And then I'm going to head out and go to check out a new thrift store. But I'm going to continue listening to Tenant of Wildfell Hall right now because I'm really enjoying it. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll switch to the Graveyard book for a little while I'm cleaning and stuff, because it's a little lighter and I don't need to pay quite as much attention to it. So I'll switch to Graveyard book once I find my headphones and get ready, and then I'll head out. All right, I didn't get much reading done while in the thrift store because the lady who was working there was really chatty, but that's okay. She was super cute. I did buy this cute little fall tin, just decoration. I really like it, and it was $2, so I got that. And a couple shirts that I will try on at home. They did have a place to try on, but I didn't feel like trying it on. So I am a little early to go pick up my groceries. So I'm just going to drive around and listen, maybe find some little free libraries, maybe a yard sale. It is a gorgeous day, gorgeous, gorgeous day. So I'm just going to see what I can see. I found a little free library and I had books in my trunk ready to go to add. Doesn't look like there's much in here. Mostly kids' books. See what these ones are. Agatha Christie, though. I think I'll take that. Fun. And I'll leave my two there. It's kind of a mess, but I think I'll just leave it today. Yay, got a new one. I found another little free library, and I have 3 books to add, a cookbook and 2 nonfiction. Let's see what's in here. Oops. A lot of Clive Cussler. And some kid books. Nothing that I need, but put those in. All right. Hi. It is now 10 minutes after 4, and I just finished my first book of the 24-hour readathon. I finished the Bellwoods game. I ended up starting to listen to this while I was out and about because I share library cards with Amanda, and we both have borrowed the Graveyard book, and I wasn't sure if it was at the spot where I had stopped listening or where she was listening. So I didn't want to mess up what she was listening to. I have to check into that a little bit more. So I just started and finished this one. I just came home and glimpsed through it as well because there are tons of illustrations throughout, like a lot of really fun illustrations. So this is about a town called Fall Hollow where every year the 6th graders participate in the Bellwoods game, where 3 students are randomly chosen to go into the woods and they have to ring the bell in order to protect the town for another year. The book starts out in the past where a girl named Abigail and her friends, or other kids in her class, are participating in the Bellwoods game as well. And unfortunately, Abigail dies in the woods. And so now there's, in the present day story, a legend about her ghost, which haunts the woods during the game. And people who have participated in the game in the past don't really talk about it and don't talk about what happened. So it was pretty creepy. It was pretty dark, but I liked the focus on the friendship and having to work together in order to make it all out okay. I'm not going to keep this book. It's gorgeous and it's perfect for this time of year. It's not my typical type of a read. It's definitely darker, ghosty, playing on the fears that each of these kids had. It was okay. It was good. Probably 3.5 stars. But ultimately, I'm not going to really remember it. Not going to never ever need to read it again. I'm going to take a quick little break now because I feel like I've just been reading a ton. I think I'm at 4 hours and 10 minutes or something. I took a screenshot so you can see where I'm at as far as my timer. I did stop at one yard sale. I stopped at a little bookstore. I stopped at a couple little free libraries, as you've seen. And so I had a fun time out and about. Came home and immediately put my PJ pants back on. My comfy pants. And I do have some things I need to do around the house, but I'm going to answer some comments for a little bit and just take a break from reading for a few minutes. And then I'll get back to it. I'll probably go back to where I started at the beginning of the day and read a couple more Mary Oliver essays and some more of The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. But yeah, I'm going to take a little half-hour break or so before getting back into it. All right, I am back from a little walk that I just went on, and I listened to more of The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. And now I am sitting down to work on a puzzle and continue to listen to Wildfell Hall. And it is 5:43. My dinner is in the crock pot and it will not be done till close to 7. So I just had a little snack of some chips and a drink just to hold me over until then. And I'm gonna look up and see if anyone's doing sprints tonight. I think Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia, I'm one of her patrons. I don't really participate in much, but I think she might be doing patron-only sprints tonight. I'm gonna see what I can find and continue reading. I'm rocking, I think I'm at 5 hours almost, or just over 5 hours now. So I'm pretty pleased with that, I guess. I'm about halfway through Tenant of Wildfell Hall now and have done more than half of this puzzle today. I had just the edges done this morning. So pretty good. All in a day's work. And I made potato soup. Yum! It's so good. All right. It is almost 7:30 and I have been reading like crazy this afternoon, which is great. I put together almost half a puzzle, made some potato soup, and now I'm sitting in my room to relax for a little bit. I've been reading The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, and I'm more than halfway now, or just about halfway. Really enjoying this still. I really like the main characters. There is a ton of characters, and at one point we switched to be reading from her journals, and so all the characters that we met in the town at the beginning, we now are meeting a whole different set of characters as we are learning about her past. So Mrs. Gilbert's past. It took me a minute to get situated and learn who everybody was, but I'm good now. So now I'm taking a little break from reading. It is 7:30. I'm hoping that there will be sprints to be had around 8-ish. Usually 7:38 is when people start sprints. Possibly I'll be doing some on Tiffany, Beautiful Minutia's Patreon. I think that was for tonight. I have to double check. I need to set up the StreamYard I need to set up the sprints for tomorrow because I'm doing sprints tomorrow, Sunday night. But I'm going to eat and watch a little show. I'm not sure what I'm going to watch, but I'm going to eat and take a little break from reading for a minute, give my brain a break, and answer some comments and just do some other things, put laundry away, all that kind of stuff. and then I'll hop back on and read a little more before the end of the night. All right, so it is now 10:23, and I just participated in the sprints on Tiffany's Patreon. And for the first sprint, I had to put dinner away and grab a sweater because I was chilly. And I read 2 more essays in Upstream by Mary Oliver. I didn't care for either one of them as much as the first couple, but that's okay. I still read 2 more. That's a good amount of time. It's about a 25 minute read to do that. And then I spent the majority of the sprints, so 3 more sprints or 2 more sprints, reading The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. Look at how far I am now compared to the beginning of the day. I mean, I was way at the beginning, and now I'm potentially going to finish this tomorrow, which is exciting because I wasn't expecting that. I'm really enjoying this. It definitely has soap opera vibes. Lots of characters, lots of drama, drunk husbands, an affair, and the wife catching them in the affair, and she just wrote a snarky note, and I was like, yes, girl. That may be spoilery, but I didn't say any character names, and this is a classic. It's really old, but it's good. I'm really enjoying it. For a minute there was so many characters that I was feeling overwhelmed, but I feel okay with them now. Every once in a while, I'm like, who's that guy again? Who's that girl again? Who's married to who? I need a diagram, but it's 10:30. This 24 hours ends at 8 a.m., but I am not staying up all night. That's just not going to happen. But I might stay up till about midnight or so, and then get up a little bit in the morning to read before having to get ready for church. So I'm going to keep this going for the full 24 hours to see how far I can get before it's all said and done. I'm at like 7.5 right now. It's a lot of reading in one day, but I'm loving it. So I'm going to keep going. All right. It is just after midnight, 12:05, and this girl needs to go to bed. I made it a total of 9 hours and 5 minutes of reading today. Holy Hannah, that's a lot of reading. I completely finished the Bellwoods game, giving it 3 stars. It was cute, but not my favorite. I got way far into The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. Now I only have this little bit left to finish up in the next couple of days. So I'm super glad about that. And I'm really enjoying this one. Really enjoying it. And I read 4 essays in Upstream by Mary Oliver. I really liked the first 2. Didn't care as much for the second 2. So that's a fantastic 24-hour readathon if you ask me. It doesn't technically end until 8 a.m., but since I'm staying up until after midnight, the chances of me getting up and doing any reading before 8 are slim to none. So I'm going to wrap this up here for a short little day in the life vlog, 24-hour readathon vlog, and little free libraries, like a little bit here and there. I was able to get a lot done today and worked on my puzzle a ton. And it just was a really, really good Saturday. I still have to put clothes away before I can get into bed. I just remembered that there are clothes all over my bed from the laundry that I did this morning. And I need to put pillowcases on my pillows. So I didn't quite finish all the chores that I needed to do. But I read for 9 hours. Holy moly. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this random little readathon vlog. And I hope that you are reading a great book. Look forward to chatting with you in the comments as well as in another video very soon. Bye.